Good morning, everyone. Myself, Ashu Sharma, Assistant Professor, Department of Computer Science and Engineering, ARIA Institute of Engineering Technology and Management. Today, we will see cloud governance and some of the securities that mechanism in the cloud application. So let us start with cloud governance. Cloud governance by the customer is critical. Governance is always very important for any application or any mechanism that we are going to deploy in industry, company, or even for individual point of view as well. There are some points which are important and critical for customer perspective. The first point is extend organizational practices pertaining to the policies, procedures, and standards implemented for the users. So, what sort of policies and procedures are going to be implemented for the users as per users' need? That is very important. So that should be in the practice of for the organization to extend that. Next one is the practices pertaining to the policies, procedures, and standards implemented for application development and service provisioning. Service provisioning is very important along with the development as well, because customer is there for us to take services from us. If we are not able, or we are not able to extend our services uh, within the time, so definitely we will lose our customer. So this is under that governance, you can say, for the customer it is critical. And for along with this service provisioning, application development is also a key concern, because of once we talk about the development and deployment, this is important for developers point of view as well, and it is important for customers point of view as well, because to maintain that quality with latest trends and technologies. So definitely it should be in the practice and very critical. Next is the environment establishment, such as development, testing, staging, training, production, and disaster recovery in alignment with the organizational standards. So organization has to think this that it should follow the standards, alignment with the development, testing, staging, training, production, and for the disaster recovery as well. They should have that backup plan how to tackle these sort of things together and to provide best services to the customer. Next is put in place audit mechanism and tools to ensure organizational practices are followed, such as log review and reporting is also important, because to check this, that whether there is something which is not tolerable for customers point of view, or from organization point of view, something which is not which should not be happen uh, for any point of view. So to test it and to remove that and to recover from that situation, this is important that log mechanism and reporting and monitoring type of that policy should be in governance. So this is very important point. Next is cloud customers need to define cloud strategies before entering into agreement with CSP. So this is definitely cloud customer need to define cloud strategies. This is at a customer end, that what sort of that requirement from the customer end, and this is also from that service provider end, that in the agreement signature, what sort of services is going to be provided to the customer. So definitely that should be crystal clear, and it should be defined in between customer and the provider. So next is organizational assets agreed upon and asset for suitability for cloud. So organizational assets agreed upon what sort of services and resources for the customers on the cloud is going to be provided. So organizational perspective, it should be agreed that alignment. Next is define suitable business units or functions along with the outline phased that approach to the cloud journey, document exceptions, restrictions, and risk management, list of regulatory and compliance components to time to check what are the pros and cons, and if there are certain cons, then definitely it should be improved at organizational level, and definitely it should be improved at customer level as well. individually and if he or she is a part of the organization. Next is the list business and system interdependencies is also important. So, uh, what sort of business operations and units working together between that resources and the services when we talk about that interaction from customer to the service provider. So under the cloud governance, it is also a very, very important concept. Now, we have some briefing about the cloud application security. Definitely, security is a big challenge for any individual and for organization as well. There are some points like cloud development and applications must take into consideration service models and deployment models. Second is data sensitivity issue in the cloud. Use RESTful versus SOAP APIs. API is very important while we interacting with different websites and using different logins credentials. So this is also big feature and take care of security. Careful with multi tenancy, appropriate cryptography, and release management. So if we combine all these points together, we can say for organization point of view as well as for the individual point of view, there should be a awareness about the security mechanism once we are taking services from the provider or provider is going to provide services and resources to me. So this is definitely security is major challenge and it should be adopted at 100% priority. Uh, no one can deny this concept. Definitely for applications, those are deploying, those are development taking place, definitely take care of that and definitely it should work as per efficiency level. So there are some other points like on premises does not always support, should follow appropriate software development life cycles so that the quality product should be deployed and quality product should be developed. Not all the applications are suitable for the cloud. This is also a big thing that we can't say that every application is suitable for the cloud. It depends on that compatibility of application with the cloud's resources and the services. Users and developers must understand and have appropriate security awareness. As I said earlier, this is also a big point there. Document cloud application thoroughly. Uh, Whatever the agreements, MOUs signed in between that customer and the provider, that should go through thoroughly. There should not be any point which is hidden from any side. That will make a big impact on the overall services and the performance with respect to that quality of quality measurement, you can say. So whatever the document signed between different parties, that should be read thoroughly. Next is identify complexity of integration. Whenever we have certain mechanisms where we have to integrate certain modules of business units or softwares or applications, so definitely what sort of complexity come there, identification of that is also important, and this is a major security point once we are growing with the business and growing with the services and resources. Code of this 2019 OWASP top 10 in minds, and these are some examples code for ISOs, information technology and security techniques. So these also hidden features of cloud application security. Now, when we have this concept, we can say that security is a major issue, and definitely provider has to deal with this. So here in this session, we saw that cloud security perspective point of view, what sort of things over there, and cloud governance, what sort of points cover under the governance. This is a brief session over that. Thank you so much being with us for this session.